All right, I want to welcome everybody in for our interview portion of Rotten Tomatoes by the Numbers, and today I'm so excited to be welcomed with our special guest from American Horror Story and the 100, Adina Porter. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So first of all, I have to ask, you have like 50 plus television credits, and you've done Newsroom, The 100, Underground, so many things. But here you are sitting with your first Emmy nomination for American Horror Story for Beverly Hope. Tell me how it felt to get that nomination.
Oh my gosh. I didn't find out about it for like 20 minutes into it.
Okay.
Because I didn't have my phone with me. I was in a trailer getting made up because we're working on the current season of American Horror Story, and I'm a professional, so I leave my phone in my trailer. And everyone else in the makeup trailer's phone started blowing up because there were people there from Versace, hair and makeup, Sarah Paulson, and so everybody was congratulating everybody. And then Leslie Grossman came up to me and she said, "You've been nominated." And I said, "You're lying." And everyone said, "What is your phone doing?" And I told them where my phone was, and Sarah yelled at me a couple of curse words, "Go get your phone." And so, yeah, that's how I found out. And then I cried.
And then you cried?
I cried.
Happy tears.
Happy tears.
It's so
Happy
beautiful,
tears.
too. And it's funny because you hear that story with a lot of people where their initial reaction is, "You're lying." That would be the worst practical joke to play on somebody.
I know.
I mean,
I know.
and especially when everyone else is congratulating themselves. They'd be
Right.
like, "And you were nominated too." Just kidding.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So mean.
That'd be really mean.
I don't think anyone would do that because, especially, I know the American Horror Story family, you guys are all really close because everybody just wants to keep coming back and doing the show. So this is about to be your fourth time?
Yes.
So tell me, what about the experience of filming that show makes you want to keep coming back, working with Ryan?
Well, there's the obvious thing that I love to be a working actor. So if you called me up, I'm going to show up. No, there's that. But creativity off the hook. You know what I mean? I mean, you never know which turn or twist is going to happen. So it's like theater, but with money. So I love it.
That's a great point to make because you finally get rewarded for all the hard hours that you've put into developing your craft. And when you look at something like American Horror Story or a number of other things that are on your resume, you see a lot of guest stars and a lot of recurring roles as well. Is it more of a challenge to come into a show like in American Horror Story, for example, where you're going to kick off as the guest star and you're kind of the new kid on the block, versus once you get into that recurring role where you sort of know everybody, you have a familiarity with the set?
But then maybe you have more work to do. You know?
Right.
This present year is the first time that I did American Horror Story as a series regular. This is my third time ever being a series regular. I am a guest star queen. And what I love about it is that it keeps you on your toes because you're the guest. You have to make sure that you are keeping the producers happy. I have a saying, you make the producers cry, you make the crew laugh. And I don't rest on my laurels. So I don't remember exactly what the question was now, but
it was a very meandering, kind of long, winding trip into the woods.
I guess obviously, like, which one do you like better? Do you like the challenge of guest starring, or is it the recurring more where you get to maybe dive in deeper to the character and get time to be more familiar? Like, which is more challenging for you?
Well, with Horror Story, the character always changes, right? So, and then it's about the challenge of creating something new, because I'm working with some folks who are really, really good. So they never just do the same thing. So I thought, an accent. And they're like, "No, you don't need an accent. No, just you know, figure out who she is in yourself and let her be." So that is the challenging part, recreating something new. But I love being on edge as the guest star. You know, it keeps you honest.
I would imagine one show where I don't think you were a guest. You were a regular on Newsroom, right? That was
no.
Really?
I was a guest star,
Really?
but I was a recurring guest star.
Recurring guest star.
Because there were the folks who were like the meat and potatoes, you know, and then there was I'm going to say like I was like paprika or little pepper or something like that.
I would not diminish you. You were like great dessert.
Oh, thank you very, very much. Thank you. Thank you. But there was the bullpen, and your job was, you know, to kind of, my job was to book the host on the show. But with amazing Sorkin writing, you know, you don't deviate from what he wrote.
That's my question.
Never.
So is that the most challenging work that you've done as far as dealing with that sort of writer showrunner? Because I've heard that about Sorkin. It's like music, and you don't change the notes.
Exactly. But what's scary and really difficult is just having one line in that orchestra.
Wow.
Because when you have a whole monologue, you go, I can work up into this and I can figure out where I'm going to land things. But when you have one line and you have to land it in between Sam Waterston or Emily Mortimer, and the writing and the music has to be just so don't mess up, here it comes now.
Wow.
That's a lot of, it's
like you
have
just
the
got
flute.
me tense.
And you just got to get that, and that's it.
Yep.
And that's
it.
But it adds so much.
No,
and
I love
that's what I mean about the
that.
paprika. Thank you very, very much. And then when it's your coverage, and I feel really, really, Kathy Bates just said it the other day, having one line is so incredibly terrifying. So I was like, it's not just me.
We're both big Newsroom fans, and I personally just loved your dynamic with Gary. Like
I appreciate that.
Loved that because that was I give Aaron up for writing this and the writer room for writing this. The division among Black people about Obama, like the fact that you were both introduced, be like, she thinks Obama's the greatest thing, and he thinks he's got a lot of work to do. And I was just like, these are two brilliant Black characters. I love that we didn't just have one, and we got to see so many different flavors. So we're Newsroom fangirls.
Well, thank you. I'm thrilled to have been part of that family.
And that Sorkin, having a script like that where it's literally you stick exactly to the page, just as a performer, is that somewhat tougher to do versus just getting the free rein to improvise all day long, or is one more of a challenge for you personally than the other?
Or which do you like to do better?
I like to stick with the words.
Okay.
I like to trust the writers. Wow. I like to trust the collaboration. And I kind of hate it when someone goes off script and gets comfortable, because we're not here for you to be comfortable. And my humble opinion.
You to make me to laugh in this interview, but you are hysterical.
There's a lot of good bumper sticker quotes coming out of this. It's like theater, except you make money. We're not here for you to be comfortable.
Miss Porter gives back. Like, I mean, I see this show already. But I think maybe too, because I know from your stage work, you know, a very accomplished stage actor, which is why it's theater with money. I love that. But I think it comes from that, because that's definitely from theater as well. You don't improv with theater because it is an orchestra. There's not another take, and if somebody goes off script, you don't know where you are, and then everybody gets lost. So I appreciate that, because I love like seeing, you know, you go see the Iceman Cometh. It doesn't matter who you see it with; it's still the Iceman Cometh. I love that.
And there's people watching you too.
Yes.
I mean, there's people in the crowd, and I know when you're working on a set, there's crew watching you and things like that. Do you get nervous or did you get nervous in front of crowds performing ever? Is that something you had to overcome, or were you just always kind of natural on stage or performing?
No, always nervous. I'm still always nervous.
Wow.
Because you want to do your best, your personal best. But I'm very, very happy that I started in theater. If it was reversed and I did TV first, I might not have the guts to be in front of an audience. I remember I did a play called The Venus Hottentot at the Public. I got an Obie for that.
Wow.
And the director came up to us opening night and said, don't mess up because the New York Times is in the audience.
No pressure there.
Yep, no pressure there.
That's fine.
But it was like, okay, it's time to come to bat. And the New York Times is there. And I felt really, really good about doing my personal best.
Oh, I'm sure you did. I mean, you got the Obie. Let's talk about it. I think like you have had, like you said, this moment in TV. So you've seen this evolution, because we have all these streaming services and we have cable television really sort of changing the television landscape. It's totally different back from when it was just, you know, NBC, ABC, you know, Fox, and that was it. What do you think about this current moment? I mean, I feel like a lot of people are like, we're in transition. We don't know what's going to happen with all these different stuff. Like, how do you feel about it as a television actor?
Well, we survived reality television. There was a time when it was like, remember all those reality shows, and it was like, well, you know, no one wants to hire you. They want to hire someone real who's comfortable.
There's too many comfortable people on TV.
And now it's thrilling. Because now there are all these amazing places for writers to put their things up, or actors to put their things up on an iPhone or whatever. And a web story, I mean, wasn't Insecure started out from...
Preach,
you
yes,
know,
the awkward black girl.
Right.
And then it became this amazing show.
Exactly. Yeah. So now it's like, you got a really great idea. You don't have to wait for someone else to give you permission. Make it happen. You know, and if it's great, it will rise to the top. And if it's not, it will give you another opportunity to try again.
See, I think actors and actresses should write thank you letters to all the networks for putting so much reality TV on, because I think that forced the hand and the evolution of cable networks, of streaming services. And so you have all these great opportunities now, and you can just wave bye to networks if you want to. And you're right, there's so many opportunities for people to go make it themselves. And to see that kind of start to get rewarded at a ceremony like the Emmys.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see that come and evolve into something else, and to see your career be rewarded with an Emmy nomination. Do you have the evening planned out yet? Do you know what the itinerary is? Do you know what the party schedule is afterwards?
Not everything, because it's my first time, so I don't know about all the parties, but I got people who tell me what to do. I'm pretty close on the dress. I know guy A and guy B.
Girl.
Because if guy A annoys me, guy B is a very good runner-up. Yeah.
This is his own nomination going on right now.
And he's working at it. They all are. They're campaigning. And it's so much fun.
See billboards?
Billboards.
I love it.
Just, you know, oh, he returned my text very quickly.
For your consideration.
Yeah. Nobody's stupid. Lord. It's a really good party.
Oh my God, it is a good party. Okay, so that's amazing. I'm glad you're close on the dress. So you have some folks that you're close with that you can have for advice for. So Sarah Paulson, the folks have you asked them about anything?
I asked her like an hour after it's kind of sunk in. It actually happened. I asked her how many nominations she'd had. 7. I asked her for advice. She said, have fun. Michael Emerson, when he texted me congratulations, I asked for advice. Have fun, have fun, have fun. Because I think sometimes, though I have to say, my first time in front of the camera after the nomination, I was terrified. Because I thought, now everyone's going to look at me and say, okay, Emmy nominee, bring it.
The bar has been raised.
The bar has
for your
been
personal
raised
best.
For my personal best.
And I'm pretty sure you probably cleared that bar if I had to guess.
They said the dailies looked good.
Okay.
So,
well, actually,
but it wasn't seamless.
One of the biggest performances you might have to give this year, and I'm rooting for you. I want you to win. I think you got a great shot. But they put everybody on TV. But they can only read one name. So what's the reaction? How do you react with a win versus a loss? Is this going to be totally natural in the moment, or do you have to kind of get a game face on either way?
That's the real acting right there, though. Let's be honest.
Right.
Like
okay, you want my real, honest, goodness, truth feeling? Look, to be nominated is really the best. You know what I mean? Winning doesn't mean all of a sudden no more auditions, that all of a sudden I'm just given everything. Not at all. Not at all. I still have to play the game and show up and be good. Because we all know of folks who have won a nomination and then they never work again. So it just means that I'm in the club. I am a working actor. If I don't win, I don't have to say a speech to millions of people. I am not Sorkin. You know? But my only fear is if I don't win, maybe it goes to being back to the end of the line of waiting to get into the party.
No, I think it's going to be multiple Emmy nominations,
Oh,
multiple Emmy
that.
winners. Adina Porter. Let's go ahead and put that into the universe before anybody else changes that.
But if I don't win, I still am. Well, okay, I'll tell you another story. Jeff Daniels, I emailed him congratulations, and then he emailed me back, you know, great, thank you very much. But then I had to email him again. I was also nominated. Just because, you know, I just had to, you know.
Let him know.
Let him know. And I goes, he didn't know, because you don't get, I mean, page 64 is like when you get to my list. It's still a very good list. And he goes, when you're there, you're going to realize that you're in a group of people that are at their best, and you are one of them. And that's where I'm at. So I'm like, I got in the door. I am one of them. And that's enough. If I win, lovely. If I don't win, I'm among them.
I'll put it to you this way. I thought you were among them already. This is just a confirmation of what we already knew. I wish you the best of luck. If I was a voter, you got me, obviously. But best of luck to you. Emmy voters, pay attention. This is where we need to go.
Thank you.
I want to thank you so much for coming in and chatting with us today. And where can folks find you?
Twitter, Adina Porter. Instagram, Adina Porter. I'm really simple. If you want to watch the 100.
Yes.
Cannot
forget about the 100.
And American Horror Story. You know, I'm in the season that we're writing right now, and you know, go back and watch Cults and Roanoke, and I'm also in the very first one, Murder House.
Yeah, I remember. All right, Mark, anything you want to plug out, shout out, say out?
If I'm not here in Los Angeles next to the lovely Jacqueline doing stand-up, I'm either going to be in Atlanta or New York the next couple months. You can check out tour dates at markellislive.com, and you can find me with a pep in my step after this interview, because I find you so inspiring. It was exciting to talk to you. You're a very uplifting person, and best of luck to you at the Emmys, and best of luck to Guy A, Guy B, or Guy C. Whoever wins it, they make them climb some mountains.
I'm serious.
Thank you very much.
I like I said, I had so much fun with this conversation. I haven't laughed this much in an interview in so long. Really do appreciate it. I'm Jacqueline, again, an editor here at Rotten Tomatoes. You can find me online at @Jacqueline. If you would like to hear the audio version of this podcast, please check back at RottenTomatoes.com, where you can download it on iTunes or SoundCloud, or tune in to our next episode of By the Numbers, where we have a little bit of a pull going, because we haven't decided what we're going to do yet. We're either going to go to space, or we're going to stay down here on Earth and deal with Rocky boxing movies. I say space, he says boxing.
I love Rocky. I love Leprechaun on the Moon. I'm good either way.
Either way, maybe email us at bythenumbers@RottenTomatoes.com. Let us know what you think our next episode should be. And obviously, if you're an Emmy voter, please vote for Miss Adina Porter. That's it for us this week on By the Numbers. Bye, guys.
Bye.